Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Yellowstone's Lainey Wilson gets engaged to NFL star after threatening to propose herself. Country music star Lainey Wilson is engaged to former NFL quarterback Devlin "Duck" Hodges after 4 years of dating. The Yellowstone alum and Grammy Award winner shared the news with her Instagram followers on Wednesday, posting a carousel of snaps taken from the proposal. Wilson wore a long red coat, cowboy hat, and her signature bell-bottoms for the emotional proposal that saw the former Pittsburgh Steelers player pop the question with the ring and a cowboy hat box. The romantic moment happened outside on a tan brick patio surrounded by roses, candles, and photographs of the couple. The country music singer showed off her massive ring in one black and white snap and captioned her post with 4x4xu forever. The couple met in Nashville through mutual friends in 2021. Wilson and Hodges made their red carpet debut at the ACM Awards in May 2023. Before they went official, an insider told the Post that Hodges was frequently seen backstage at Wilson's concerts. "It was clear that they made each other so happy," the insider said. "Everybody is rooting for Lainey and this new chapter. She truly is the sweetest." The 9-time CMA Award winner previously told American Songwriter that she didn't write love songs because there was no one who inspired her to create romantic music. But that changed when the Wildflowers and Wild Horses singer met her now fiancé. "I don't care what shape it is, but I want to be walkin' with a limp." Wilson joked about getting engaged during a Country Heat Weekly podcast episode in August 2024. Wilson's engagement to the football player comes after she threatened to propose herself. Last month, the Watermelon Moonshine singer joked to Jelly Roll's wife Bunny during an interview for CMT, "I might have to propose to him." Bunny pushed back and said, "No, Duck's gonna do it. I could feel it." The couple had to make time for their relationship early on due to their busy schedules. Hodges was a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 2 years before he moving to the LA Rams in 2021. Meanwhile, Wilson released back-to-back albums in 2021 and 2022, secured a recurring role on Yellowstone, and was getting ready to open her honky-tonk bar in Nashville. Hodges retired from professional football in 2022 and has since become a licensed real estate agent with Tennessee agency Myers Cobb Realtors. He boasted that he enjoys traveling to concerts and being on the road with his girlfriend and your favorite country music artist, Lainey Wilson, after his playing days. An engagement isn't all Wilson has to celebrate. The singer's Whirlwind World Tour is set to kick off in Zurich on March 4 and is scheduled to end in Orlando on November 8. Lainey Wilson had always been a strong-willed woman. She had grown up in a small town, surrounded by rolling hills and country charm, but she had never been the kind to let tradition hold her back. She was determined to make her own rules, and that meant doing things on her own terms. Her latest challenge: getting engaged to her NFL star boyfriend, Jake Mitchell. Jake was everything Lainey had dreamed of: strong, successful, and supportive of her career. As the star quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, his life was filled with high expectations, flashing cameras, and constant pressure. But with Lainey, he had found solace. She was the one person who saw past the fame and the glitz, the one who encouraged him to be himself, and reminded him of who he was before all the fame and fortune. And that was why he loved her. But lately things had been feeling a little off. Jake had been traveling a lot for games, his team in the midst of an intense playoff run. Lainey was busy with her music career, recording albums and touring. They rarely had time together, and when they did, their interactions often felt like fleeting moments between chaos. What was supposed to be there forever seemed to be slipping through their fingers. She had a sinking feeling that Jake, despite all his affection, was dragging his feet when it came to taking the next step in their relationship. It wasn't that Lainey was in any rush to get married, but she had made it clear to Jake that she wanted to know where they stood. The constant back and forth without commitment was eating away at her. After all, if they couldn't commit to each other, how could they ever build the life they both dreamed of? One evening, Lainey found herself scrolling through social media while sitting on the couch in their shared condo. She was scrolling past engagement photos of her friends, country singers, and even some of Jake's teammates. Every other post was someone getting engaged. While she couldn't even get Jake to talk about the future, she stopped mid-scroll and sighed, putting the phone down. Her heart felt heavy, but more than that, it felt frustrated. That's when it hit her: if Jake wasn't going to make the move, maybe she needed to take matters into her own hands. Lainey grinned to herself. She had been thinking about this for weeks. The idea had been simmering in her mind, and now it seemed like the only way to make things happen. She would propose to him. And not just casually or lightly. She would do it in a grand, memorable way, something so big and bold that Jake wouldn't have any choice but to say yes. The next day, Lainey's plan went into motion. She got to work, enlisting the help of a few trusted friends in the entertainment industry, and even calling up a renowned event planner. She knew she needed a big stage to pull this off, something that Jake couldn't possibly ignore. Weeks went by as Lainey kept everything under wraps. She had been busy with a concert tour, and Jake's schedule had only gotten busier with training camp and travel. All the while, she was planning the most extravagant proposal imaginable, one that would blow any traditional proposal out of the water. It wasn't just the proposal that needed to be perfect. She needed the moment to symbolize the kind of relationship they had, full of passion, adventure, and authenticity. No frills, no pretense, just them. Then, the day came. Lainey had arranged for a surprise party to take place in a private room at one of Jake's favorite upscale restaurants, an intimate setting with friends, family, and a few key members of the Seattle Seahawks team. The theme? A mix of football and country music, because both had become the cornerstones of their relationship. Lainey had even arranged for the band to play one of her songs, a ballad about commitment and love. Jake, still unaware of the plan, walked into the venue with the same carefree attitude he always had. But as soon as he entered the room, he was hit with the undeniable realization that something was off. It wasn't like any other celebration he'd ever attended. The lights were dimmed and all eyes were on him. But there was Lainey standing at the front of the room, her heart-shaped smile illuminating the space. His breath caught in his throat. Lainey took a deep breath, her hands trembling just a little, but her resolve was as solid as the earth beneath her. "Jake," she began, her voice steady, yet full of emotion, "we've been through so much together, and every moment has been more than I could have ever dreamed of. But there's something we've both been avoiding. It's time to stop dancing around it. It's time for us to take the next step." She pulled a velvet box from her purse and held it up. "I'm done waiting for you to ask, Jake Mitchell. I'm proposing to you. Will you marry me?" The room went silent for a moment, everyone in stunned disbelief. Jake stood frozen, his eyes wide, as he looked from Lainey to the ring. He blinked several times, his brain scrambling to catch up with the situation. Finally, he smiled, slowly at first, then with more confidence as he stepped toward her. "Lainey, you know you've always been the one to call the shots with us. But, are you sure?" Lainey laughed softly, wiping a tear from her eye. "I've never been more sure of anything in my life." Without hesitation, Jake pulled her into his arms, his lips finding hers in a kiss that was both tender and full of passion. "Of course I'll marry you," he said, pulling back slightly to look into her eyes. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause as Lainey slid the ring on his finger, her heart racing with excitement and joy. It wasn't just about the proposal. It was about the fact that they had come to a mutual understanding about what they wanted in life and their relationship. Lainey had stood up for what she wanted, taking control of her destiny, and Jake, in his own way, had realized that he was ready to embrace the next chapter of their love story. From that moment forward, the world would see a new kind of relationship, one where both partners were strong, independent, and willing to step up when needed. Lainey had set the tone for their engagement, and together they were ready to face the future, hand in hand. The news hit social media like wildfire. Fans and the media were stunned. Lainey Wilson, the country star, had proposed to an NFL quarterback. But what they didn't understand was that this was the exact kind of love story that Lainey and Jake had always shared, bold, daring, and unapologetically their own.